Hello everybody. I hope you're having a good Saturday. I'm working on a couple projects here. This is a simple shelf that I did for my kitchen this year. I decided to make a couple spots in my house very minimal in design because I have a shelf. I have my Baker's rack set of shelves that is always very maximalist. It's very busy with all the things that I like to put on it. So I like to have a couple areas in my house where I can rest my eyes when I'm looking around. So I decided to do that with this shelf this year. And also I'm working on a project that I was hoping to start in October, and I didn't get very far with it, so I'm working on it now in the middle of November so that I can mail it soon. I'm making a Christmas tree skirt. Now this Christmas tree skirt, this green pattern, this is made of upholstery material actually. I got this on sale when a huge fabric shop was going out of business. It wasn't one of the known ones like Joann Fabrics. It was a smaller company, but they specialized in upholstery material, and it was wonderful. This is where I got the material where I made my dress that you might remember, my Christmas to Valentine's Day dress that's in another video, and I made that years ago. And then I found this little remnant of material that this is chair upholstery material, and I just love it. I wish they'd had more. I wish they'd had enough to do a chair with. I would have bought the material and asked somebody to upholster a chair for me one day, even though I know it's very expensive. But it's expensive for a reason. That's a lot of work to reupholster something like a Queen Anne chair or a recliner type chair. My mother and father, when they were retired, took an upholstery class, and I went one day and saw what they were doing, and I was fascinated by it. It is a lot of work though. But I just love this material. I can't tell whether it's supposed to be pine cones or leaves, but it's really pretty, and I like the fact that it's subtle in color, this kind of cool sprucey sage color, so it goes nicely with the trees that I do. I don't like bright red on my Christmas trees because I just think it's too bright. It looks fine on other people's trees the way they do, but I think it's also because my house is kind of small that I didn't want a very bright red tree skirt. And I was going to do a burgundy one, and then I just decided to do green, and I've never changed it. I've always liked it. But this burgundy material, I had tons of it at one time, and I made the dress. I made Christmas tree skirts, which I sold at our Christmas craft show. We had a high-end Christmas craft show, and I made Christmas tree skirts and tree runners out of this burgundy material, and I used this piping, which I also got at the same upholstery shop. It has this corded beautiful piping, and then this material is it doesn't seem to be a regular bias tape. It's some kind of slightly stretchy stuff that I don't know what you would call it, but it's polyester. That's all I know about it. But so I made these tree skirts, and I made them double fabric. I sewed 2 panels of fabric together so it would have a nice weight to it. And so now I don't have any more material left except to make one tree skirt, and I ended up with a ton of this cording. It must have been cheap, and I thought I was going to be doing a bunch of projects, which I never really did. I don't sew as much anymore because of my arthritis. I do, once in a while, I do get an idea for a project that I want to do, so I've kept my machine for that and for mending. But my mother had a wonderful big Viking machine and a baby lock overlock machine that she was going to leave to me, but I really didn't want it because the machine was very complicated and I'm not. I actually do better. I have some dyslexia, and it's gotten worse with age actually, and so I just wasn't ready to take on something like that. So I don't know who inherited it in my family. We were hoping it would go to my daughter. I'm hoping that she got it. But this is a very simple Singer sewing machine that I got at Kmart. I did have a better sewing machine at one time. I think it was also a Singer when I was in Pennsylvania, and it did a lot more than this. But it got broken in the move. It was not properly boxed, unfortunately, by the person who was shipping it for me, and it got broken. So I didn't want to spend another $350 on a machine. Actually, it would have been more than that because that machine was on sale for $350 in the mid-90s. So to have bought that again in 2003 would have been even more, I'm sure. So I just went to Kmart and I just got a simple $100 Singer that really doesn't do a whole lot. It's pretty much a straight stitch. You can do a little bit of embroidery with it if you want, but it's as simple as they get, other than just one of those tiny mender machines. And this is fine for me. My mother was so good at, I mentioned it in the video that I did about her, about how she was a master quilter. She was a dressmaker. She learned how to, and she had her own business. She learned how to sew from a woman who did a French dressmaking classes, and to call her a tailor even would be an insult, because this woman she could make a pattern just looking at you, make a pattern and make it so beautifully. I'm sure she could have sewn for the royal family and for the presidents and anybody else like that. And my mother too. My mother was so talented at it. She went to these classes, and she was there on Saturday when nobody else was there, just learning how to do all these things she could before Bernice what's her name, before Bernice retired. And so I'm so glad that my mom taught me what she was able to teach me. I'm sure I was not an easy student for her at all. So she just struggled to show me a few simple things. And I'm not good at following patterns. And I did take a summer sewing class too to help. And my mother also sent me a really good book that I wish I had it to show you. I think I'm going to order another one. I gave it to my daughter actually because I thought I'd remember everything that was in there. It was a simple sewing book, but I know if I look online I can find it again. But I can make very basic things. I can even make a jacket. Certain kinds of, like I could make a swing coat, and I made that dress and everything. But I can't make anything really, really complicated. I don't like sewing on stretch fabric at all. So there are just some things that I wouldn't even try, but I've had a lot of fun doing these little crafts with this machine. So as soon as I'm done with this project, what I will probably do is I will measure out this corded edging here, and I will save some, and then the rest I think I'll donate, and some crafters out there will be very happy to find it. The only other project I think I'm going to do of a large size is I'm going to make another dress. It's going to be simple. It's going to be just a jumper, but I found this really beautiful fig colored material that it's what is it? It kind of makes me think of like a little bit like linen, but it's more. It's a polyester, I'm sure. It's but it feels like linen. It has a really nice hand to it. You'll be able to see it later. It's a lot like this material that I made the other dress out of, which is actually another. This is another upholstery material, but it's a thinner upholstery material, so you could actually make clothes out of it. You could make tree skirts or curtains, drapes with it. No, that wouldn't be curtains, that would be drapes, but you can do a lot of different things with it. So this is what I'm going to be working on, and I have to get it done and get it in the mail, as I promised to do. I put it off for quite a long time because I have to sew during the day when there's enough light. I just can't see well enough after it's dark, no matter how bright these kitchen lights are. I just had to have that daylight coming in through the window. So I will be back and show you what the tree skirt looks like. I don't know if I'll do an actual sewing video or not. I've never done one before. I don't have a tripod for this camera, so I don't know. Maybe I could do a short amount of it when I come back. But I hope you have a really good weekend, and I will be back as soon as I can. Thank you for being here today watching. Goodbye.